All right, guys, welcome to episode 150. Dude, 150. That's crazy, right?
Crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy. We've been doing this a long time. Of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Y'all, we've got the circuit recap. We're going to have fun stories. We got Kyle Loftis. We're going to talk about a few stories in here of him, turn and burn updates, and more drag and drive news and entertainment than you can shake a stick at. Mr. Eric White, hit the intro. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys, like I said, welcome to episode 150 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. I'm Mike Narks. I'm your host of this episode and the news that happens on Saturday mornings. And my right-hand man, Mr. World Traveler here, Mr. Eric White. Tell him what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news, and just getting back into my daily life after a drag and drive. That drag and drive hangover is real. Get back home and looking for race cars everywhere I go.
It is brutal, dude. I'm scrolling down here. I'm actually fixing to post this up on the Circuit Racers group. So if you guys could do the same, hit that share button as we jump in here. Man, it was wild. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. And just like Tom Bagley says, jet lag sucks. But
Yeah.
it means I can watch the show. Yeah, I can't imagine his time change. And I mean, we were like 9 hours ahead of where he normally lives, and he come over for 4 days and then back home. Your body can't even be ready for that yet, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I sure am glad he was here. It was a ton of fun. And to quote Mr. Richard Brewer, the Dirty Panda himself, hey, race car friends, just to say thanks, guys. Can't believe it. We got to see more than 250 of you guys. Well, really, when you put in co-pilots and all that kind of stuff, it was like 450 or 500 people came with us this weekend. It was absolutely insane. We had a great time. And I just want to say thank you so much for every bit of share, comment, support, everything we've had over the last 3 months. It kind of all culminated to right there. And of course, we couldn't do all of this and all of that and host events and do all the stuff we're doing without our sponsors. So if you guys are shopping, hit these folks up. Summit Racing Equipment, of course, title sponsor for the show and the news and the circuit that happened this last weekend. Deech Works, our racer party sponsor, came and raced 2 cars. Neither one of them finished, bro. So sad. But I'll tell you what they did finish. They did finish ahead of me at the race car, at the go-kart racer party. Bro, I'm blaming it on my go-kart. That's all I'm going to do on my go-kart. Molly Motorsports, Adam drove all the way from North Carolina to come out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, hang out with us for the weekend. Appreciate them doing that. Driven Racing Oil, of course. Those guys are freaking awesome. We were talking to Michael Neal today through email, and dude, they got a bunch of stuff coming. It's really cool. They got a bunch of stuff that's working in the background on all the driven stuff. And of course, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, who was on site, AFCO Racing Products, best suspension out there, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds, y'all. It was a great time. We had a great time. It's just like everybody says in here. But obviously, Summit, we want to let Mr. Brian Loans tell us about some of the Summit stuff that they got going on. Then we're going to get into this show.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
I like how they say blazing fast shipping, and that truck's like me across the screen. I'm like, they need that the van that old Cleater McSkeeter had down there. They need that like
Right.
rip across there. Jan Hassen here this evening. How are you doing, sir? Man, it was so great to see everybody, dude. I'll tell you that much. One friend we didn't get to see though is Mr. Tommy Dupree. Oh, wait, what? This doesn't look like Tommy Dupree's car. Tell us what's going on here, man.
So this is Tommy Dupree's Mustang here, and he is at the Mickey Thompson Turn and Burn. So this was kind of under secrets for a while, but no longer driving the S10. Everything has been moved over to this white SN95, and we'll have to have him on at some point to kind of tell the story about this car because I wouldn't be able to do it justice, but it does have a really cool backstory to it.
Yep, it's really a great story, heartwarming for sure, and I'm glad that he's got a dude that is caretaker of this car for the time being. And dude comes in to turn and burn. This car literally sent us a pic. Did he send? Was it Friday? He sent us that picture. The weekend's a blur. Maybe Saturday. First driving the car, and then now he's at turn and burn. This picture was from yesterday or from this morning. Says 10:34 off the trailer, off the foot brake. Bro,
Yeah.
I'm trying to leave
And
trans break tomorrow. It's gonna be. This is awesome, man.
yeah, and if I remember right, he's an NA guy, right? So this is an
Yeah.
NA car.
Yep. Naturally aspirated big cubic inch LS. So should be, man, this car's gonna work. And the S10 worked, but I think the backstory of this car and all the stuff that comes in there really is going to really make this something that's gonna stick with him for a long time.
Yeah. Yep. So good luck to Tommy here at Turn and
Yep.
Burn, and look forward to seeing the progress of that car throughout the week and weekend.
Right. And we'll be following this pretty closely. Saturday, I don't know if we'll do a show Saturday, to be honest with you, because I'll be at the Throwdown in T-Town. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see if we can actually make time to do that. We may have to do it super early in the morning to get through that. But I would like to keep updated on this. You can find all that stuff, Drag Driver Pete, on social and on the website as well. All right. Of course, we're Summit Racing Equipment affiliate. You can find that link at the top of our Facebook page or any link on the dragdriverpete.com website. If parts qualify, that does give us a little bit of a, I hate to call it a kickback because that sounds bad, but it's kind of some support. So if you guys use that, definitely hit those links. And then we do have, and I was supposed to send Eric one earlier, but we do have a few more discount codes left from the circuit that were actually in my center console of my truck. I opened it up today. It was like, oh, I was supposed to give those out. So, hey, that's the way it goes sometimes.
That's all right. It saves one for me for sure, and I'm gonna need one.
Right. That's exactly right. Well, let's talk about some Drag Driver Pete updates. Man, I'll tell you, this is one of the saddest stories I think we've probably covered. In the 150 episodes we've done this. It came as a shock, I think, to probably everybody in the automotive community. Man, losing Kyle Loftis is a really big deal for folks that don't follow that side of stuff very much. I mean, this guy he's somebody said
Pioneer.
pioneer. Yeah, I mean, really, I was going to say trendsetter, but yeah, you're right. Definitely a pioneer in the sport. I mean, burning VHS tapes to burning DVDs to selling that stuff out of his trunk to running what is probably several tens of millions of dollars a year in business, if not more. I mean, it's awesome to see the level of growth that 1320 Video has had, but then also to see a guy that is still out there he's still recording footage. He's not hiding in an office somewhere. I mean, this guy is out there doing it. And as Scott Whitty posted, this guy gave a lot of people the opportunity to live their dream, which is so cool, man. And it's so sad to hear that he has passed away.
Yeah. For sure. I don't want to say the cool thing, but I mean, it's kind of cool the amount of people that were sharing that post and telling their stories just really shows you how much of an impact he had on the racing community. And I mean, I think that's what we all want our legacy to be, right? When our time comes, like I could only hope to have that kind of impact on the car community as well. So I mean, he really again paved the way for people like us to do this, to all the media companies that are out there. He really paved that way for all of us to be able to sit here and do these things that we're doing now. So it's definitely a sad day to see that, to hear that news. Not what I was expecting today.
No, not at all. Not at all. And the story I posted in the on our post to Drag Driver Pete was the honey. You know, he whips out this jar. My voice is completely wrecked at PRI. I literally am struggling to talk and carry on conversations. And he's like, "Oh, dude, you need a shot of honey." And I'm like, "Get out of here." He's like, "No, no." And he pulls out this jar of honey and makes me take a shot right there. It was pretty awesome, man. So I enjoyed that. And that was just him to a T, 100%. Every time we saw each other, it was, he was having a good time and smiling and trying to figure out how he could make it better. So
Yeah,
big,
and
big
PR,
loss to the community.
yeah, and he I don't know that he seek us out at PRI, but anytime he walked by our booth, he definitely would stop
Yeah.
and give us 5-10 minutes just to chat us up, which was really cool. So rocking my 1320 hat tonight and a 1320 shirt for the show.
Yeah. Don't blame me, man. It's heartfelt today. I tell you, that's a sad day. All right. Moving through here, 2 lane throwdown comes up 45 days from now, dude. I'm not ready for this. I'll tell you, this is going to be a big one. I told a couple people at the circuit about this event and kind of how it's going to be laid out, but I want to run through it real quick. We're going to do registration on May 15th for people that did the circuit, people that did the short circuit. Like if you have participated in an event with us in the last year, you're going to get early and discounted registration for this event on May 15th, which is next Friday. And then public registration will be that Saturday, the 16th. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be our longest single day event because we're going to start in the morning, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. or sorry, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., take a 2-hour break and then come back 3 to 7. Now you don't have to fit in those hours. You can do whatever you want to with it. But because of the Deechworks Feed the Racers sponsorship, we're going to go find us a lunch spot somewhere. This drive will be a little longer than what the Mother Road Mayhem was because we have some dedicated downtime. We have to be gone from the track for those 2 hours. So this is going to be kind of a fun one. And I really can't wait for this one. This is, I think, going to change probably a lot of stuff for us moving into 2027. I think this event's going to be a ton of fun and we're going to have a good car count and it's just going to be a blast. Short circuit. How about this one? You ready for this? Are you ready? 184 days. Yeah. Kind of crazy. I've been back and forth on when I want to do registration for it. And I just decided today, hey, you know what? I'm just going to set a date and that's where we're going to do it. So registration for the short circuit at George Ray's Wildcat Drag Strip, November 6th and 7th. Registration will open up on July 17th. So that will be, obviously, we're going to give an early day for all of the circuit and all of the Mother Road Mayhem, 2-lane throwdown. All those racers are going to get early registration, and then we'll open it to the public the next day. So they'll get a full 24 hours before everybody else. This one's limited to 100, but dude, I'm going to call Tyler. I mean, we may need more spots. I don't know. I don't want it to be 150 cars, to be honest with you guys. I think probably 120, 125 is about the max I want for this. I want this to be very intimate and fun. I just want to have a blast with this event. I want it to be something that people are looking forward to every year. We will move the short circuit around to fun, interesting places throughout the U.S., in the coming years for that. So going to be kind of awesome. I can't wait for that. Again, July 17th will be registration for that day. The old truck, I'm just going to put it out there right now, will not make it back to the streets. It has developed some, I hate to say struggles because it made the weekend. It made the drive. We did all the stuff, but we put Steven put 2 fuel pumps in it in 2 days. Luckily, Deechworks had a 400 in-tank pump with them. A big shout out to Mark Campbell, who met Steven and Blake late at night to get it picked up. They swapped it in the hotel parking lot. There's some gremlins in there somewhere that aren't happy. So we're going to go through and we're going to really kind of touch up a lot of stuff. I think it's probably grounding issues, to be honest with you. And so I want to go through and clean all of that, make sure all that's good, and touch every ground wire on that harness and see if maybe there's some stuff that's not right within that. We just keep getting a bunch of breakup in any kind of boost at all. And I'm scared of, I don't want to be that far from home and really break it. So probably not going to do that, but I am looking at trying to make it to probably Wagler. That week is really busy for us here at the house. Kids are getting out of school, got some last minute or some, like school stuff going on that week. So I'll probably leave that morning, meet everybody in Wagler that afternoon, and then follow the rest of the weekend. So that's kind of my plan for Back to the Streets. Let's see what else. What do we got? I think just the big shout out to Deechworks there for the 400 intake pump. It worked great. I mean, it got us through the weekend. We're going to really turn it up. We had to do some creative wiring. We were actually Stephen ran the wiring through the vent tube to make sure that there wasn't any disconnection parts there. So we'll see. Anyways, that's the old truck stuff. What do you got going on, man?
Well, I picked the motor up on Monday when I came back from the circuit. No cracks in the block, which is great to hear. It was hot tanked. Hot tank did not clean all the rust off of it, so definitely got some wire wheeling to do before I paint it. Got the Molly pistons out. Just got the tool for installing the circlips. Not necessary to need, but it was cheap enough that I went ahead and ordered that, and that showed up today. So assembling piston rods, so Gen 4 rods onto the Molly Power Pack pistons. And then I realized I have no bearings. So we'll be getting some bearings for that here so that I can start putting that together and doing a little research today. That's one thing that isn't talked about a lot when building an engine, at least is kind of what I was doing. You talk about cams, you talk about pistons, you talk about all that stuff, but bearings don't really get talked about. So definitely did a little bit of research to try to educate myself on that as far as getting the right rod bearings, main bearings, and cam bearings so I can put all this back together.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for that thing to be rolling.
You and me both.
Well, let's talk about the circuit 2026, dude. This is basically what the show's about tonight, to be honest with you. We are going to break down a bunch of fun stuff and even have Casey Matthews in to finish up the show to talk about his cheap car challenge and how much fun that was. A couple of comments here. Eric Gibson, another big thank you for a great event with the circuit this past weekend. Dude, we had a blast. That car, again, I said it in one of the videos, but that car is one of my favorite cars that's out there. And then Brian Myers has met a lot of great racers and made new friends. That's exactly what that event was for, man. The racer party definitely set that up. Oh yeah. I'm glad to hear the engine was ready. And then of course, 650 index was sick and tight, so tight, like 001 tight. We're going to talk about that as well. The grit event winner, man, I don't know. I didn't even get a chance to take a look at that. That was a dirt or a vintage race, like even older than vintage. I don't know what you call it, but Martin Kilroy is he races the 29 Ford. So. All righty, here we go. You ready? Let's talk about some fun stuff.
All right, let's go.
So, it was an incredible event to say the least. Okay. Day one video has dropped. So, big shout out to our boy Brian. It's on the YouTube channel right now if you guys want to go watch it. It's one of our best performing videos out so far. And then I think you guys are really going to like it. It is a mix of track stuff, Eric at Route Stops and his trip, and then Tom Bagley, Bags 96 in here earlier, TB Racing Productions, flew over from the UK, so it's got his stuff in it as well. I can't wait until Brian starts working on day two, which he's working on now. I think I have a base edit in my file right now to look through, but this is going to be a fun one. I think we really took the event to a new level this year. We're going to talk about all that stuff as we go through the show and how tight the races were, all that stuff. I did want to give a big shout out to all of the volunteers that helped this weekend. If you walked by the booth, there was probably a moment there where you were asked to move some stuff or help us get stuff out of the trailer or, help me put a speaker on top of the trailer, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys helped, I really appreciate that. Big shout outs go to Tom Bagley, who literally was stuck at the trailer all day on Thursday with Tara Fling. So I appreciate him doing that. He basically flew all the way over here and then was stuck at the booth. It's kind of tough. April Barker, Scott Barker's wife, April, another big help. She was a huge help at the short circuit. Came out this time, same thing. Couldn't get the engine back together. Scott wouldn't buy her a Hellcat, and so she just road tripped with us. And whenever she had free time, she would come over and help with that. Brighton James, Stephen's youngest stepdaughter, she was a beast over there on the raffle tickets on Sunday. Just, hammering people. She was shaking people down like left and right to get that money out of them. And then, of course, Brian Ekstrom drove all the way from Minnesota to come down and do all the stuff he did. He ran lanes, he hung banners, loaded, unloaded, filled up ice out of the coop or in the coolers, went and got waters. All the stuff that goes along with all that. And of course, Melissa, I love you, honey. I appreciate you doing all the hard work you did for absolutely no money. And you had to listen to me snore. So I appreciate her very much. Danny Fackus said, I helped by staying out of the way this year. Danny was awesome, man. It was great to see him and hang out with him and stuff. Big shout out to the Flings, Sean and Matt Fling, headed up Tech. And then, of course, Albert Short over there doing the same thing. He's our normal Tulsa Raceway Park Tech guy. It was great to see these three guys. I will say we had some struggles on Friday. One, because there's so damn many people. Okay. That's really where it really kind of went off the rails. We were figuring, or I was figuring, that we would have 180 cars based on past experience with people signing up and how many people show up. We had 214 racers. Well, we did 67 Tech on the pre-party on Thursday. So I thought, hey, that's going to give us 120. We'll be more than fine. We'll have 3 people doing Tech, because we kind of like went through Tech slowly on Thursday because they were just trickling in. Friday, it was insane. So that means we teched almost 150 cars on Friday morning while also racing and running the lanes and all that kind of stuff. So when we started, dude, it was wild. When we started looking at the people we were down one Fling who ran the lanes in 2025. So that was one. So now we had to pull Matt or Sean off to run the lanes. We were down our daughters who were running the merch booth and raffle ticket booth. So they were racing this year. So that was kind of a change, which didn't help any at all. And it really it just showed. So we're already working on plans for next year and how many people we're going to need, how many people at what station, how we're going to get those either volunteers or pay them or whatever as we get through all that. So thank you to everybody that volunteered. I appreciate you guys. You were awesome. And then of course,
Richard here saying I counted 75 in line during the driver's meeting, wrapped all the way around the concessions.
Yeah. And we had already been doing Tech for 2 hours then.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy. It was pretty crazy. Shout out to Adam from Molly Motorsports, who drove all the way from North Carolina to come out, sold $1,165 in raffle tickets for the Power Pack piston kit. And then the Lowrys won it, which is really cool because they have big plans for the summer, but they also broke a ringland on a piston in Oklahoma City and drove that dude back to Tulsa. So pretty incredible. So they're going to need those big time. Shout out to them. And then, of course, thank you to Detroit for the hospitality at the shop. Those guys were giving tours and hanging out and doing all the cool stuff. Then they were at the track. A really big pat on the back to them because they actually, when we ran out of water over at our booth, they just drug their coolers over. And man, if anybody needed any water or Gatorade, they had it right there. So appreciate that. And then one cooler was empty, but still had ice water in it. They dumped that into Kylie Reynolds' car so he could make a pass. It was pretty cool, man. We had it was a great time. So thank you to them. Of course, the racer party, the go-karts, all that kind of stuff, which I haven't seen very many photos that we can use on here for the go-karts, but we're going to do that in a little bit.
Yeah, I've got a handful from the track that was pretty good. So just got to get through my photos. 4,100-ish photos is what I took for the weekend.
That is insane. That is insane. Big shout out to April Barker. She says, can't wait for next year. Also loved meeting the Narks family, and she can't wait to drive that Hellcat, Scott. All right. Biggest event we've ever hosted, dude. It was pretty incredible. I know it's going to be the word of the night to do this, but man, 214 racers signed up for the circuit, or showed up. Sorry, not signed up, showed up day one of the circuit. 210 made or submitted passes on day one, which we only required one pass for day one, which helped 33 road trippers, which is the biggest group of road trippers we have. So, are you doing the math on that? You ready? That's 247 people, for 247 cars that cruised along with us, plus all the staff people like, my truck and trailer, Melissa's, your rental, Brian's car, Richard Brewer,
Jesse
Jesse
Fox.
Fox. Do we have? Yeah, we had more than 250 cars cruising along Route 66 from Oklahoma or from Tulsa to Oklahoma City and back. It's pretty cool. So 210 cars made passes on day one. 167 cars made passes, submitted passes on day three. I guess that's probably a better way to word that. 210 submitted passes, 167 submitted passes on day three, and we have required 2 on day three. Man, I wish we could have done that on day 2 because, dude, it would have shaken everything up.
Yeah.
All of it would have been different.
Yeah, pretty wild. That's a significant jump. I think what was that, about 50 cars or so?
Yeah, last year we had 153. So, and then the year before that was 151. And like Danny said, well ago, the weather was incredible. So, last year we had the last minute change, had last minute postponement. And so, man, we really took care of a lot of people. If you came to the Circuit 25, you got $100 discount on the Circuit 26 when you signed up or your co-pilot signed up. So that was pretty awesome. We also donated $25 of each racer ticket right to the Youth Services of Tulsa. All of the VIP money went to the Youth Services of Tulsa, which was $50 each. Raffle ticket sales, straight up donations. I mean, we had people handing us money. In total, you ready? In total, we raised $12,204 for the Youth Services of Tulsa, plus a big pile of stuff like clothes and soaps and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, $12,000 is a bunch.
Yeah, awesome when we can raise that much money for something like that. It's incredible. Appreciate that from all of our race car friends. Obviously, without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to raise that much money.
Yeah, for sure. And to do it with how we did, and we had people donating money back when they won. We had people throwing extra money in for the at the end there. It was kind of awesome. And then, of course, another group of folks got engaged this year. Power couple here, Miss Courtney Shahan and Brandon Accord got engaged there at Thunder Valley Raceway Park. So it's pretty neat.
That's awesome.
Oh man, Robert Lamperic says I was replacing turbos at Thunder Valley. The one pass day 2 was an event saver for me. Yeah, I mean, it really worked out. I really wish we could have done 2 on Saturday because, dude, again, it would have changed everything from there.
Yeah.
There was another comment up there just a second ago I was looking at.
They're coming in so fast, you got to keep up.
Right. We'll go back to it later. So they got engaged. Congratulations to them. Move up. Golly. Sorry. Oh, Robert Lee here says, I think 13.0 index needs to be changed to 1320 for drag and drives. Not a bad idea, but I think that's a great idea. We may look at that for next year or some other events that we have coming up, like 2-lane throwdown and short circuit's 8th mile, so we're not going to be doing that. Okay, ready? Driven racing, all stuff. Man, we're going to be way over. I have yacked a lot tonight. Just yakety yak.
All right, let's go.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip and during the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
Oh, yeah. And here's another one. Camp Counselor Bob was awesome for the event as well.
Oh man, yeah, we're going to talk about him in a minute too.
All right. So, looking at events, we are wrapped up for the month of April, talking about the month of May. And right now, the Mickey Thompson Turn and Burn is going on, like we said at the beginning of the show, with Tommy Dupree being there. That is May 5th through 9th, Summit Motorsports Park. And Bill Spangler, who was one of our first guests on the show, almost 150 episodes ago. He ran an 8.489 in the first full quarter mile pass of the FUB Fairmont.
Dude, that car is so impressive. It's got a Godzilla in it now. It's going to be on point.
So pretty cool. Next event up is Back to the Streets, which you just talked about. May 20th through 24th at Bunker Hill and Brown County, obviously. That is coming up in 14 days, just 2 weeks away. Then we have Drop the Hammer, May 28th through 31st at Mid-Michigan Motorplex. That is 22 days away. And rounding out the month of May, Sick Speed Fest, May 28th through 30th at Beach Bend Raceway, also 22 days away.
That seems like May should be so much further away.
Yep. And then we jump into June, and June is absolutely packed with events. So you can see all these on the screen. Street Weekend, June 4th through 7th. Streetcar Challenge, also June 4th through 7th. Alaska Speed Week, June 8th through 13th. Rocky Mountain Race Week, June 5th through 12th. Six Summer, June 5th through 20th. BC Drag It Challenge, June 17th through 22nd. Two-Lane Throwdown, June 20th. The Home Quarter Dragon Drive, June 19th through 21st. The East Coast Dragon Drive, June 26th through 28th. The Great American Detour by Robert Voss, Camp Counselor Bob, June 27th through July 4th. And Buckeye Skips, who's in the chat here, June 29th through July 3rd. I mean, I don't know if we're going to have another month that has this many events.
Oh, dude, September will be crazy as well.
Yeah. So that puts us at 50 events for the year. So pretty incredible there. Again, for all the event information, you can find at dragdriverepeat.com/event list 2026. And we'll go ahead and drop that in the chat so you guys can access that if you are interested. Again, interactive map. You can go and check out where all these events are. Otherwise, if you want to go to the list, you can go to the bottom underneath that and see all of that as well.
We'll take links right to the Facebook pages or websites or whatever.
Yeah.
John Ketch says, can we get Josh Rich banned? No, that dude runs on Leaf Springs. You can ban him. That truck is so cool, man.
Yeah, I was saying, I think I was saying that to you. I don't know what I liked better, the red and different colors or the white, because I mean they both looked good. I love white. I don't want to call it a ratty looking car because it wasn't ratty looking, but I like that rough look, and then it just goes out and lays out a beautiful pass. There was another car this year, which was one of my favorites, that was exactly that as well. So I think we'll probably talk about that one later.
Yeah, Dustin Peterson, he says, he is my band book already. I love the white. The white race cars is where it's at, man. I'll fight anybody on that.
Did you see Josh Rich's comment earlier? Why John Ketch is saying that? So when you had that drone shot from Richard Panda up there, he made a comment that he could see his bald head from there. It's somewhere awesome. Back up there.
Yeah, he also says, by the way, that double cheeseburger at the concessions was legit. Yeah, agreed.
So again, thanks to Driven Racing Oil, code DDR10, 10% discount on anything on the Driven Racing Oil website. And I was just on there looking around today. They've got assembly lube for assembling engines, which I'm probably going to need. They've got brake cleaner. They've got oil, all kinds of different products. So if you haven't checked that out, go check out all the different products that they have on their website.
For sure. All right. some J-Wire solution stuff here. I'll go ahead and hit the play button on that one, and then we'll get into it.
What's up, guys? My name is Cole from Fort Worth, Texas. Expert car and marine wiring solutions that you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, hell, even your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience way better, like their blinker module that is just a must for all drag and drive cars. This module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. Find all the details at jwiresolutions.com.
Just shout out to Cole. I got to hang out with him while we were waiting in line at the racer party for the go-kart. So it's kind of
awesome.
cool to spend a little time, hang out, and chat with him.
John Ketch. Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on. Report us. We don't care. First up, just want to shout out to Shahan Performance for sponsoring the small tire. That's the first class we're going to talk about here. And congratulations again to daughter Courtney for getting engaged on day 2 at Thunder Valley Raceway Park. Anytime you can add a power couple to the community, it's always a good thing. We'll go back to this photo of her here. Her and Brandon Accord ended up getting engaged over there. So congratulations to them. That's our second couple to get engaged at the circuit. One last year and then them this year.
It's going to be kind of a theme going forward, I think, huh? We're going to be wondering who the next one's going to be.
Right. Well, hey, here's the crappy part about that. Nobody told me.
Yeah,
I would have made a deal in the award ceremony about it, but I didn't know. I got home, sitting there Sunday night, just wore out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people got engaged. And Melissa's like, what? Oh my God. Pretty awesome.
Super cool.
Yep. All right. Well, winner of that class, I showed the picture all ago. We're not going to bring it up yet. Winner of that class, first person to run a 4-second time. I'm going to say in the new era of the circuit, since we've started like NHRA Tech and all that kind of stuff, which is started in 2023. So first person to run a 4-second time at all. First person and only person ever to have a 4-second average. And he submitted 3 of 4 passes in the 4s, and his third pass that was not in the 4s was a 5:08 with a 7. And I forgot to mention this during the driver meeting, took home the Baker bounty from Jim Parkinson. Okay, so that was worth $1,000 coming down. Pretty good deal. Big shout out to Baker Engineering for putting that money up. 4:08:09, quickest pass of the class, obviously, and quickest 8th mile pass of the event. Mr. Kyle Beaumont won that class. Big shout out to him. 491 average for him in the Trans Am, the ZAM, as what he calls it. And this is his second time. He will now be featured on the circuit shirt. He was on the shirt in 2023, I think, with Brian Acton's first year. So he came down in 2022, quickest 8th mile car, then comes back, does it again 2026. So pretty awesome, man. I'm excited for him. Runner up in that class was Mr. Eric Kuhn. See if I put a picture of him. Yep, I sure did in here. Big shout out to Jesse Fox. This is one of his photos I stole. Eric Kuhn, second to run a second of three people to run a 4-second pass in circuit history with a 489 with a 5, ended up at a 512 average. So that's your top 2 in small tire. Small tire was pretty, I guess, a small car count in that class. Not as many, I think like 8 or 9 people in that class, but full of some fast stuff.
I love Jesse Fox, but this was not his photo. This was mine, sir.
This was yours?
Yes, I put it in here.
Oh, sorry. I thought I'd slipped it in there. I apologize. Eric White in there with the heat.
I'm just giving you crap.
That low shot, bro. I love it. Love that shot. All right. Let's talk about Unlimited by AT Industries. This is a shot you took here.
Yep. So winner here, third person to run a 4 at the circuit. And first appearance in 3 years. Brand new car.
Yeah, dude, he's worked every year to try and get here, but last minute stuff always comes up. Can't get his car running right. So this is awesome.
Yeah, brand new car to him. Ran his licensing passes on Friday, which means he had 7 passes on Friday. Crazy.
Yeah.
Personal best runs throughout the weekend. A 4.943 was the quickest pass of the class. So this is Kylie Reynolds with a 5.222 average. How crazy. Like he had just bought this car.
Yeah.
When did you say it was?
Dude, it was like 10 days before the event.
Could you imagine that? Brand
No
new
way.
car that you know nothing about 10 days before the event.
Comes down. He said it had been fast, and obviously it has. I mean, dude, he goes out and runs a 494.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
in his first outing. Like this is the first event. And he put that thing on the street. You know, he did wasn't easy on this thing. It was awesome.
Yeah. And again, 7 passes on Friday. I mean, that's crazy for
Yeah, because
you know,
he had to get his 6 done to be licensed to go that fast. And this has created like an all new rule for us in our rule book too. That I've been talking with Sean and Matt Fling about is because, you know, how do you approach that? What's the right answer? You know, can he, you know, if he's not if he's not licensed to go that fast, he can't turn it in. So he has to get licensed. Well, if he doesn't get licensed on day 1, then he has to turn in whatever he like. If it was a, you know, at that point, a 636 is what he could have ran. Like that's all he could have turned in on Friday.
Yeah.
But he was able to get all of his passes in, which was awesome.
Yeah. And most of the time we see the U versus U cars coming out and making that kind of passes. So shout out to Kylie for putting on 7 passes on Friday to get that done. And again, to be able to come home and take that class win. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then so runner up for Unlimited was Eric Reisner, 5.486 average. He had to change an axle seal on Thursday.
Yeah,
Pretty-
dude, that was was wheeling it into the trailer and saw a leak, and so pulled all that stuff out and went at it again.
Yeah. And then Jim Parkinson had a rocker stud strip out on day 1 after running a 5.14, repaired it with a helicoil and ran on Saturday, and then stripped out 2 rocker bolts on Saturday's run. So tough break there. And then John Ketch broke on Sunday, ran a 5.11 on day 1 and a 5.17 on day 2. So he would have been right there too.
Yeah, he'd have been right up front. And it was so sad because John was like our first pass down the track. And then on day 3, just man, that car left really hard. I've got a great reel of it on my phone. Left really hard and then just poof! Like, whoa, what happened there? And things went there. So pretty awesome.
Wild. So that is your Unlimited class winner and runner up from AT Industries.
Eric Gibson has a great question. Who made the most passes total of the event? Any ideas? I have no idea, but I do know that it may be Brian Acton. To be honest with you, that dude was man. They were pushing hard to keep that Baker bounty at home, but it didn't make it. Last class here in the J-Wire solution, we're going to talk about you versus you. This class here is a ton of fun for me. I love this. This is like a 6 DYO, where we basically use the spread of your quickest and slowest pass to calculate the winner of this. So top 13 cars across 4 passes, which was day 1, we only required 1. Day 2, we only required 1 because of oil downs. And then day 3, we required 2 passes. So you had to make 4 passes, had to submit 4 passes in 3 days of racing. We're looking at ways to make that even harder next time. We are definitely always trying to make 2 passes on day 2. We may look at, I don't know, maybe you have to submit 5 passes, whether that be day 1 and 2 on day 1 and 1 on day 2, however you want to do it. I don't know. We're looking at a lot of different ways, but the oil downs really struggled to keep us going on Saturday. So top 13 cars split by less than a tenth in spread. Absolutely insane. That blows my mind. So winner of that class, Mr. John Long Jr. right here, came all the way up from Texas. You guys will know that name from the Chevette that they race, that him and Krista race. It was awesome to see them, man. I talked to them quite a bit in the backbone of the Dragon Drive. They're one of the contributors to that. He won it with a .004 spread. They said it took 8 passes on Sunday to get there.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So I told you this 2 passes per day is really changes it up, especially on a weekend event like this. So 11,786 ran that twice, 2 times ran that pass, and then 1179 on Sunday. So 0.004 spread across the weekend. Absolutely insane. And that means that their third pass was between 11,786 and 1179. I think it was like
Right.
an 11,789 or 787 or something like that. So insane.
And we knew it
Uh,
was going to be tight. So
oh, that class is so much fun. I think we had 64 people in it at the last. I think that was our final count for that class. I think some people jumped from there to other, all motor, small block, big block, things like that to try and jump in. Runner up in that class, Mr. Cason Summers, 0.005 spread. You hear that? That's difference of 0.001 between that. And again, this is a spread 10-8-27 to a 10-8-32 was his grouping there. And third place in that class, Mr. Nico Christofri. Sorry, Christofri. In the nitrous powered cheap car challenge from 2023 or 4 Mustang here, 0.03 spread, 10.04 to a 10.07. So big shout out to Nico. That car is so much fun to watch.
yeah. And I loved this picture. And I didn't even like I hadn't even looked at this picture yet. And as I was looking for pictures tonight, I was like, the tire wrinkle on that, money shot.
Squats for sure. Dustin Peterson said, not going to lie, the oil down in OKC, I learned a DoorDash will deliver to the gate. And I think it was John Ketch's wife that got me to download the app. Oh, man. Yeah, that big time stuff there. Yeah, Cody Hammond here saying, enjoyed the weekend. Hello, all. Enjoyed the weekend or enjoyed the event. Thanks for hosting it. Can't wait for next year. Yeah, man, I'm ready.
King of the wheelies right there.
Oh, yeah, big time. We're going to talk about
And
that in a second, too.
and my favorite part of him was as we were, I think it was on day one, leaving Tulsa, and we're going down the highway, and there's construction going on, and I see him dip off the road, and I was like, "Oh man, he broke down." And as I get closer, I see a little gravel path that he snuck over to the service road and got down like the service road around all the construction, which had
Nice.
me cracking up when I seen what he did.
Yeah, that's awesome. David lives here saying, it looks like I managed the 5th place out of 54 cars that finished. I'll take that any day. 0.055 spread and quicker pace than drag week. So big shout out to him, man. Coming all the way from Pennsylvania. Drove his car all the way out.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
It was a great time.
Yeah, and Dave,
yeah.
we talked about that at the beginning of the show. Yep, that's bummer for sure.
Yeah, big time. And then Brett Crosby there saying had a great weekend and enjoyed everyone. Man,
Cody says shortcuts.
always.
All right.
Oh, they should have, announced about the DoorDash coming to the gate at Thunder Valley. A big shout out to Jay, man. He come down. Him and I got a chance to talk quite a few times throughout the weekend. I appreciate him and his insight on some of the stuff. And this event is just going to get better and better with everybody's feedback. And we appreciate you. If you have anything you'd like to add, please come on. Tell you can send a message to me or Eric White about it, and tell us what you like, what you didn't, how we can do better, all that kind of fun stuff. Molly Motorsports, if we want to hit the intro for that, and then we'll talk about these. All right.
Perfect.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together, so all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
All right.
Speaking of Molly Power Pack, I pulled out the Molly Power Pack pistons to get them ready, and I forgot that they had sent this over. So this is now going on the office desk here. So pretty sweet. Drag driver Pete Molly Power Pack piston.
That's super cool. Well, in this segment, we're going to talk about the class that they sponsored, which is our street race power adder class, our premier quarter mile class for the circuit. And as you guys have heard us say 100 times, maybe more, maybe 149 times, the 850 quarter mile stuff is my favorite class. I think those cars They still look like regular cars. They're not absolutely over the top race cars, and it just gets really fun to watch. The top 6 cars in this class were under a 9-second average, which is the first time we've had that many cars that quick in this class. It's the quickest the class has ever been across a bunch of different racers. So to have 6 cars go that quick, pretty incredible. What's he saying there?
He said drove the car and left the trailer out by Fort Leonard Wood at a U-Haul, returned theirs, swapped a spring, and continued on the way home because he had that trailer issue.
Yep.
2,735 miles all in, counting wrong turns and food runs.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
It was cool that that U-Haul let him leave his trailer there while he borrowed one too.
Yeah. Well, what are they going to do? You know what I mean? They got to.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, you guys are seeing a picture of Mark Campbell's car if you're watching here on YouTube or Facebook. If you're listening to this on one of the podcast sites, just jump over to those. Mark Campbell, first broke, third car down the track, third pairing down the track, lost all forward gears on the third pass, or lost all forward gears, third pass to kick off the weekend. Kind of sad because Mark would have been a contender in that class as well. He was ready, excited, coming up to really take on these guys. And of course, let's talk about the winner here, man. Mr. TJ Linebaugh just come all the way down from Michigan, throwing the gauntlet down. 853 average, taking the Baker Bounty home. Best pass of the weekend for him or the class, 8510. Pretty impressive stuff going on. Or sorry, that wasn't the best pass of the class. Sorry. Dustin Peterson holds that one at 8509.
That was his best pass of the weekend.
Yep. Yeah, it was TJ's. Yep.
So,
850 for the 2 average. Kind of crazy, man.
Yeah. And it was cool watching all these guys back and forth and even down to Brian making the last pass of the event with TJ suited up in the lanes just in case he was able to pull off a number. They were going to make another pass. So it was definitely cool watching them. So runner up there, obviously Brian Acton coming in second place, and they tried their hardest. They were pushing and pushing to get there. Finished with an 853.5 average and a best pass of an 851.3 average.
Yeah, man, they really put it out there big time. Those guys, I think, made 6 or 7 passes on Sunday as well. They were shooting for it hardcore.
Yeah, I think what time did we end on Sunday? Was it 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, I think they made their pass before that was like 2:45, and then they came back at 3 o'clock to make one last pass. And I talked to Brian later, and he said that it didn't take off right, it didn't feel right, so he just kind of let out at the end because I wondered what happened on that pass, but he's like, there's no reason to hurt it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, they had made 20-something passes that weekend or 18 passes that weekend trying to get to that number. So I know they made several passes on Friday, and we only needed one. And then Saturday, same thing, a bunch of passes. And then we end up only needing one, which was great for them because it really kept it tight because the 2 passes they did have originally wouldn't have been as good. Again, the 2 pass per day thing, I love it.
When I left the track on Friday, they didn't have a pass to turn in because their 2 passes that I saw were too quick. With the second one was at 849.6, if I remember right. And I was just like I could just see it in their faces. They were just like,
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I think their first pass was 858 that they could submit, and then it just kind of was all in that range right there. I know they made at least 4 or 5 passes on Friday, same on Saturday, and then of course 6 or 7 on Sunday.
Again, that's why we like this class, right? Like it's one of the classes where you can't just run as quick as you can run. Like it's definitely a tuning game in this class, which makes it very interesting.
Yeah, tuning and driving. I mean, you're talking about the difference in inches of how your car bumps in. Chris Morey asking, how are the back halved coilover cars adjusting for trailer weight? Did see a lot of cars that were making spring changes. They would actually swap springs, throw on a harder spring for the drive. And then at third place, man, big shout out to Dustin Peterson here. His son Liam was with him as his co-pilot. Dude, this car is so incredible. He's gone from competitive 650 racing to now he's in this 850 class, runs the best pass of the class, 867 with an 8 as an average for the weekend. My dude, again, new rear window decal. I mean, like the whole thing. This car is just one of my favorites that's out there.
Yep, best pass of the weekend, 8509.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Eric Gibson here says, what made this weekend one that I will remember forever was I got to take both my dad and brother's ashes down the track in Tulsa on day one. Man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
James Esmond, another name you guys are going to get familiar with here. But up next, fourth place, Mr. Cody Coots in a Mustang that he actually, once we'll show that yet. Cody Coots ended up running his licensing passes actually 10 days before at the Mother Road Mayhem. Ends the weekend with nope, I have that wrong there. It says 8.6785, which is exactly the same number as Dustin Peterson. So let me jump over to our sheets here because one of them is wrong. They didn't both get the same. Hold on, this will take just a second. So if you guys haven't done it yet, we've dropped this in a couple different places, but you can go over and see how everybody did.
Josh says, I like Cougars and a Mercury Cougars.
Yep. Dustin Peterson, 8.568 as his average.
There you go.
Yeah, let me put that in here. 8.568. So I was close. That's the first time we've ever had three cars in that class in the 850s. First time we've had that many cars under a 9-second average. In fifth place, Mr. James Esmond. First time doing the circuit. He did the short circuit back in November and then did Mother Road Mayhem 2 weeks ago. Bro, this guy is all in on Dragon Drives. Ran PVs all weekend, ended with an 8.700 average. So that's your top 6 cars in Street Race Power Rider class presented by Molly Motorsports.
Pretty awesome.
Yep. Total car count, which I meant to put in there on this class, 15 cars total in this class. And let's see how many finished. We had a total of 11 cars that finished the event. So pretty impressive number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite classes for sure.
Oh yeah, and then we joked about it, but we'll run through some specialty trophies here. This is the only photo I went ahead and pulled up for all the specialty trophies by several different companies. But Cody Green, man, laid it out with the Jeep. This is if this
Cody
is the
Ham.
same one. Oh, Cody, yeah, sorry, Cody Ham. Laid it out here, dude. I think this was like a 300-foot wheelie. I think it was like on the balance point and just. It bounced twice and then just stayed up for like 300 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
One
awesome.
of the videos I showed coworkers today, I was like, this thing's cool. Check this out.
You're like, watch this.
Yeah.
So he ended up with the biggest wheelie. That was sponsored by 4-Eyed Performance for $200, Johnny Allen Media for $200, and then AT Industries for another 100.
Yeah,
So
pretty
$500
awesome.
is worth it right there.
Yep. Our tailgate shootout winner by Revved Up Laserworks, $500 there was Neil Torbett.
Yeah, 4 cars. It was Ford versus Chevrolet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1-on-3, and Neil took it all the way down. Quickest 60-foot was by Brandon Parker. Mr. Kyle Beaumont took that one home with a 119 60-foot, dude.
Dang.
Yeah.
First broke by none other than Narcoleptic Customs. $100 went to Mark Campbell, as we talk about. First broke, no forward gears in that thing.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's going to be a Narcoleptic Customs trophy from now on.
Yeah.
Just sorry, I gave other people chances. I'm doing it now. Biggest comeback. This is a great one right here. Basically, whoever tears their stuff up the worst, but is also able to make the repairs and continue on and finish by Turnkey Fab. Big shout out to Cody Teague and the team over there for building that. Mr. Jim Hopping won that one. Used the engine puller at the go-kart track, worked until the wee hours of the morning to repair the pickup tube in his big block Chevrolet in the G-body.
Yeah, pretty wild for that one there. Next one here, furthest driven and made the trip. This one was by Heads Up Hustles, $100. This was Roger Morrison from North Georgia.
Yeah, drove that yellow Camaro all the way up with the wheels on the roof. Ah, man, so cool. He posted in the Circuit Racers page today, like his work shoes and all that kind of stuff. Like he looks like he's all fancy now, So comes out, spends a weekend with us degenerates, and then he goes to do the real job. Pretty awesome. Furthest traveled, another class sponsored or another specialty trophy sponsored by AT Industries, Mr. Kyle Parker, who I was messaging earlier today just to say thanks for doing this. 1,329 miles one way to get to the circuit. Came from Orlando, put an axle seal in it before he could drive home. Total mileage 2,935 miles round trip.
God dang.
Pretty impressive, dude.
Yeah,
Pretty impressive.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
The most clapped out to make the trip by X Fuel Motorsports. This one was fun. Brian Mackey in the shit show. Got to be one of the coolest cars. when it pulls up to do the wheelie and you got the horn honking and the nitrous purging. And at the award show, he kind of gave us a little rundown on how he got to that point. But that thing was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun to watch the thing. They were spraying it with 100 shot, I think, by the end of the day, into that SHO Yamaha V6. I mean, it was taking it, dude. Ran a 13.3 at the end of the day. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. And then quickest nitrous car. This car kind of came out of nowhere. Had not seen it at Drag and Drive lately or at any of ours for sure. But David Bell in the Tetanus, man, this car is incredible. That class or that specialty trophy sponsored by Nitrous Express. Big shout out to them. It's their first time being here with the circuit. 552 with a 6 average for that car.
Yeah. And that was the other one that I was talking about was one of my favorite cars this year it definitely didn't look like it ran as quick as it did. So definitely caught me off guard and I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that car.
All right, we've got looks like best reaction time by AT Industries. You got here in the notes 0.027, but who was that?
But no name, I do not remember. I think it was Cason Summers, actually. I think it was Cason Summers. Somebody let me know in the chat. Young guy, pretty sure it was him.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was 100 shot for the 13.3 pass.
That's awesome. Eldest driver, this is kind of a fun one to do because it takes us all to do this to make these worlds go around. Eldest driver again by AT Industries, Mr. Lee Shaw, 78-year-old man, just out there kicking ass, taking names. That guy made at least 3 or 4 passes every day, and got to talk to them a bunch. They were struggling with the apps and getting the times, and it didn't help that sometimes we would put B146 on their car when they would come to make a pass, and then other times it was B46 when they would be in the lane to make a pass. So that's another thing we're gonna remedy next year. We're just gonna get big stickers like Hot Rod Drag Week and Rocky Mountain Race Week and all those guys do.
Yeah. Another cool one here, youngest driver by AT Industries. Obviously, we need as many young drivers as we can to get into the sport to help this thing grow. Eli Kesner won this by 11 days at 13 years old over your daughter, Gracie.
Yeah. So they're walking up and just to be clear, my daughters, both of them, hooked. When can we go to the track next? We're ready. When can we go again? I want to work on my reaction time. I want to work on going faster, all that stuff. When they come walking by, Matt Fling was talking to his mom, Tara, and they were going through the names and all that kind of stuff of people in Junior Street. And the Kessners were walking by, and I was like, hey, how old is he? They said 13. I was, oh, when's his birthday? It's February. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. So what day? And his birthday was the 12th. My daughter's birthday is the 1st. So she was pretty upset that she missed it by 11 days.
That's wild.
Yep. And then first time racers, another specialty by AT Industries, 9 racers, first time they'd ever been down the track or anything like that. The older people in that group, the young adults that were in there as well, split that and gave it to the 5 young racers that were like 16 and younger. So big shout out to all those folks for giving up their money and giving it to the kids. My oldest daughter used that today to go to lunch with a bunch of her friends. And then my youngest daughter had it spent before we got out of the parking lot. She was buying stuff on Amazon already.
Did she take the cart to lunch though?
No. No, I asked her if she wanted to drive it to school today. It was going to be beautiful weather, and she said no, she didn't want to leave it outside at school. So,
Gotcha. Next class or the next specialty one here was fastest overall by AT Industries. Mr. Kyle Beaumont and that one, of course.
yeah, that car is so impressive, man. I'm glad he came back down and did it. And then parts outside, which is kind of the way I love to think about how the first broke should work. But parts outside the engine goes to sponsor David Deach over there in the 4G63 powered car. Actually spit a rod bolt or a piece of the rod out of the oil pan on the bottom of it.
Yeah, and he said he is building it and it's going to be better next time. So I'm pretty sure he is another one that had an absolute blast, which was awesome to see.
Yeah, those guys, man, they were having a blast. And, he doesn't probably get to very many races. And so he took this opportunity to have some fun. And Mark has said they are all in. They're ready.
I love it.
Yeah. Best burnout. Oh, go ahead.
Brett Crosby here saying, count me in for sponsoring junior class again.
Yeah, big shout out to him and Bolding Auto Body and Bastrop Chiropractic. Man, it was a great class. We're going to talk about it in just a minute as well. Best burnout last specialty trophy of the night is Best Burnout by Cornerstone Performance Transmissions. Our boy over at Alex Arquette over at Cornerstone. This went to Lance Walker and Cody Ham on Facebook, if you guys know him. Side by side, blowing the tires off. We did have some controversy around this that I've heard since then. There were some people laid down some burnouts. Dustin Peterson was one of them. Nico Christophery, another one. Tom has a great video from inside the car when Nico shifts that dude into high gear and it's just on the button, man. I'm a fan of big, long rolling burnouts, and those guys did it for sure. So we may need like a top 5 burnout for next year.
I like it.
We need a city to do something like Sick does with Rock Falls. We need something like that along the way. So we're already looking at tracks and stuff like that for 2027. And then I'll let you do this one here.
Well, there was a wagon that laid down a good burnout at Deechworks as well.
Jordan Hull. Yeah, that was another great one.
Yeah, he found me and asked if I had a video of it because I posted the picture of it. And he's like, do you have a video by chance? And I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah.
And then again, last here, shout out to Camp Counselor Bob just for being awesome. He told me that this was more fun than racing for the weekend. He said just had an absolute blast with everybody. Ton of campers had a great time. His wife was cooking breakfast for people, which was super cool. Love's Travel Stop gave us tons and tons of snacks and water for everyone. In fact, they were driving around at Thunder Valley, sitting in the back of the truck, just handing out snacks. And I ended up grabbing, of course, a bag of those gummy bears because those are awesome. And
did not have any of them. Thanks for sharing, jerk.
Might have left them in the car. They might have kind of got melted into maybe one giant one, but hey, still edible nonetheless.
Right. Cody here. This truly is one of the reasons we went to Oklahoma City, brother. He says, make sure the tracks are next to another go-kart track. I mean, 100%. This is why we did. We did go-karts in 23 or 24, and it changed our life, man. It was incredible to have all the fun with all those folks and do everything like that. I did like that they made breakfast for folks. I loved that they always had snacks and drinks and all that stuff because it gave us another outlet for that. You didn't have to just come to the booth up front. You could have gone to Camp Counselor Bob and all their stuff out there. There she is right there, Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
And Cody was the one pushing me down the track. And I told him, when you're in these go-karts, you can't really see who's behind you or what they're doing.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I felt him pushing me all the way down that straightaway. And I was scared to lift going into that hairpin turn because I didn't know who was behind me or what they were going to do. But definitely had me on my A game going through that track, and I felt him in every turn. And I tell you what, that was a ton of fun because
Oh yeah.
at any minute I was just waiting for him to come around me. But man, those
He
go-karts
was
were a
toying with you at
blast.
that point. Yeah,
He
he's toying
was.
with you. Well, we're going to talk about go-karts here in just a second. So, big shout out to Molly and the team. Thank you to Adam for coming all the way out. Thank you to Scott Klontz for making that happen. Thank you for the Power Pack piston kit that they donated, that they raffled, that the Lowrys won, that raised $1,200 for the youth services of Tulsa. Thank you for all that expense. I mean, dude, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to come out there they spent a few $1,000s getting him here and out there and back. So if you guys are looking for pistons, please hit these guys up. I mean, they can do custom pistons, they can do off the shelf stuff. It's incredible what they can do, and they're very smart. All of them that you talk to out there. So big shout out to Molly. Thank them a whole lot. All right, sir. Let's thank our race car friends, and then we'll move into the Deechworks segment.
All right. Well, again, appreciate all of our race car friends here tuning in with us tonight. Everybody making comments have been amazing so far with comments. I'm actually struggling to keep up with them, which is awesome. Love to see that. Thank you to all the race car friends that I saw at the circuit, everybody that stopped and talked to me, that stopped and talked to my wife and kid while they were there for a few days. Got my kid on the track and took some pictures. So we've been looking at the pictures that he took. Just again, appreciate each and every one of our race car friends. It was awesome to see everybody. My first event of the year, so I'm excited for the remainder of the year. And again, all of our sponsors wouldn't be possible for me to fly down to Tulsa and attend this event and all the traveling that we're going to do the rest of the year. Again, Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performa-Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk.
All right. You ready for some Deechworks stuff?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, filters, lines and fittings, plus pump modules and surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 4,000 plus horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. Code DDR10, 10% off discount on Deechworks.com. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Big shout out to those guys for all they did for us, but mainly for keeping the old truck in a fuel pump and building a fuel pump that apparently can outlast whatever we have going on with the truck. The DW400 got us through all of the weekend, and appreciate them a whole bunch. Of course, racing two cars, brought out Mark Campbell's car and brought out the Volvo. Did you put the Volvo in here by chance?
Yep.
Yeah. Golly, I love this thing. And this is Thunder Valley. You know how I know? Because it's in the gravel and grass and the hood.
Right.
Yeah. Brian Myers has laid down some heavy black marks in front of Deechworks. We call that helping reseal the road. So to bring two cars, big deal. You know, Mark came all the way from Mississippi to come over and do this. It was really fun to watch that. And of course, the racer party at Deechworks. I did grab a couple photos. I can't explain to you guys what it's like to see this many people in line. The picture on the right is the line to race go-karts. It did not go down at any point throughout the night. There was at least 40 or 50 people in that line all night long.
Yeah. And the owner, I believe it was the owner that was walking around. He was having a blast. Like
that dude. Yes. He's a character, man. He was awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if this is typical for an event that they host there or not, but he was loving all the people that were there. The parking lot had plenty of room for everybody to fit all the cars and trailers in there. The go-karts were great. Like this was a ton of fun.
Yeah, this one here is our crowning achievement for racer parties for sure. Oklahoma Motorsports Complex. Big shout out to those guys. Rodney was the guy you're talking about. That guy went live like 3 or 4 different times, and he'd come running up to people and go, where are you from? Like, but in this huge booming voice. And he caught Chris Wozniak one time and he was like, Nashville. He was like, Nashville. Oh my God, Tennessee. And he's like, man, it was incredible. He did that like 3 or 4 different times on a live stream. So it was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, Richard saying, I guarantee he had more fun than anyone else.
Oh, yeah.
And look at this right here. Deechworks in the comments telling us it was awesome. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for this. This was incredible.
Yeah, I think they had as much fun as we did. And the final race, we talked about this. Well, let me go back. We served 80 pizzas, 40 orders of breadsticks, 40 orders of cinnamon sticks. Man, it was incredible the amount of food that we had. And big shout out to Eagle One Pizza in Norman, Oklahoma. It was awesome.
Yeah, 400 and something drinks that.
Oh yeah. Didn't even think about that. Yeah. Rodney Reeves hit it on the nail on the head. The parking lot was a pretty awesome car show. And you got to see Jim Hopping working on his car. He was in the engine bay.
Yeah. Do you have any shots of the go-karts?
I don't. These are the only 2 I have here.
Let me show this real quick because I posted one as a teaser photo here.
All the stuff I took was video.
Yeah. So this one right here is one of the shots that I posted up a couple days ago. But I mean, these things were awesome.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
This is what I got a bunch of these. This was just one of them that I grabbed, but had to get, so I didn't get on the go-karts until later because I obviously wanted to get these types of photos during the day before it got dark. And then once it started to get dark, I put the camera away and then just rode go-karts the rest of the night and hung out with everyone, which was a ton of fun.
You really did. You went 3 back to back.
There was one in between. I ran my first one, and then I had one off, and then it was the final race, and then it was us versus Deechworks race.
Oh man. Okay. Here, make me full screen here. I'm gonna show you this. I'm just gonna show it from my phone. We'll post it later. But look at this shot from Richard Brewer, Dirty Panda.
Oh yeah, yep. I saw that. Incredible.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. Talk about a big, car show there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Rodney, of course, having a blast, dude.
Yeah. I think the amount of media we got this year from everyone is the most media that we've ever gotten. Like having Richard. I mean, I was with Richard multiple times throughout the weekend. Let me actually pull you back down so I can. There you go. Was with him multiple times throughout the weekend, and I think he recorded. I don't know how he recorded as much as he did. I mean, there was pass after pass he recorded.
Well, I'll tell you this much: I didn't pull all the videos from his SD card or whatever you call it, not SD, the SSD system over to mine before I left. So I ordered a 2 terabyte to send up to him. Or he ordered it to send to his house. I paid for it. And then he's going to load all that stuff on there. We're going to meet it back to the streets and I'm going to pick it up. So we'll have a ton of drone and video footage, 4K, 120 frames a second. It's huge.
Yeah. Plus Tom doing all the videos that he did. Like it's insane. And again, can't thank all of those guys enough. The media this year was incredible.
Yeah. Kyle Merriman are you in the Tulsa Raceway Park media group?
I don't think so.
I added you to that. Yeah, he posted 10 photos today. They're like, oh man, wow, going to be awesome. Patrick Red's photos was out there during the weekend. He was out on Sunday. That stuff will be coming out. We'll be able to find posts or photos on Tulsa Raceway Park page, on Drag Driver Pete page, circuit page, our own pages. It's going to be everywhere, man. We're going to take over. I wish we could have got to it earlier, but God, 767 gigabytes, bro.
Yeah.
That guy's an animal.
Good luck, Brian.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian. Here you go, bud. We may end up with 10 videos from this thing.
Bring it on. It was so much fun. Everybody needs to see how much fun we had.
Oh, for sure. All right. Well, let's get back to some class stuff because We're trying to cover as many as we can. We're not going to get to all of them tonight, but we're going to finish up the next on next week when we have some guests on, or maybe even on Saturday morning if we move it forward some. So I want to go to 11.0 Index next. This was sponsored by AT Industries as well. Big shout out to Mike Anger over there. Top 4 cars in this class under an 11.1 average.
Yes.
Yeah. Class was won by 0.002 on the average across 4 passes. Dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
The winner, pictured here, I shouldn't have put this up yet, but ran the best pass of the class, 11.002. His passes, Josh Odom is the winner of this class with an average of 11.0575. Passes were 11.002 on day 1, 11.114 on day 2, 11.091 and 11.023 to make up his 4-pass average.
And I've seen him making multiple passes throughout the weekend as well.
Man, Sunday, I think he made 8 or 10 passes as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Runner up here, one of 2 racers to submit 11.0 passes for each day, and drag and drive debut, Case Huddleston with an 11.059 average. Pretty awesome. Can you imagine coming into your drag and drive debut, getting 11 O's for every pass and coming as a runner up? That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine. I know Case from our time at Midwest Drag Race Series. He races a Pro 420 car. It's a super badass, like, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd gen Corvette with a big blower coming out of the hood and all that stuff. Pretty cool car. Goes very fast. Goes in the 4s. Whatever, I can't remember what he was driving this time, but had a good time. 3rd place in the class, submitted 11 O's each time too. Mr. Ty Atkinson, and him and Josh Odom actually lined up at one time during Sunday's rounds, finished with an 11.0675, so 100th behind 2nd place.
Yep. And then 4th place, Tony Kirkup submitted 3 of 4 passes that were 11.0. So this 11.0 class was tight.
Yeah, and that's why we chose it early on. We started looking at which classes would make the most sense for to fit alongside what Rocky Mountain Race Week does, because we have a lot of racers that are that do both events. So we use this; they can use this as a great test mule for their race week experiences, or before Rocky Mountain was back in the mountains like this year. They would come to Tulsa. So this was a good one. And then 12.0 Index, also sponsored by AT Industries, another class we literally. The rules that match with Rocky Mountain, same thing over here. We fit them the same because we want these cars to be able to do both events very easily. We don't want to have you have to change anything. Top 4 cars all submitted 12.0 somethings every day.
Dude. That is awesome.
Insane. So winner of that class, Mr. Terry Barnett, right here. 2 pictures of him. 3rd quickest pass of the class, 12.007. 3rd quickest, 12.007. You hear that? Slowest of his submissions was a 12.074 to give him a 12.0305 average.
That is crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Runner up here was Jeff Short, quickest and 2nd quickest of the class with a 12.003 and a 12.005. So both incredible passes, and then his other 2 were a 12.072 and a 12.068.
Yep, and that gave him, are you ready for this, a 12.037 average. So 0.07 difference in that class.
Crazy.
Yeah. 3rd place in that class, Josh Melisa, Melesa. His passes 12.067, 12.022, 12.029, and 12.032.
And then the 4th one here, Chad Maggard, 12.015, 12.05, 12.099, and a 12.068.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Big shout out to Chad driving the Ford truck that we've took some shots with the old truck in 2023. Man, those 2 trucks next to each other are incredible. But to go back to Josh, Melissa, and Jeff Short, Jeff Short's average 12.037. Josh's 12.0375.
Oh man.
5/10,000ths of a second separated them.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard Brewer in here saying multitasking and a decent little reel dropping in a few minutes. That's awesome. Over on the Dirty Panda, DIRTE as in Edward, Panda channels
I
over there, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
I don't know how many reels or shorts I took, and I did not get a single one posted the whole weekend.
Well, again, big shout out to Brian. That's what we have Brian for. He is awesome, and we really wore him out this weekend, pushing a bunch. He posted, I told him 10 as minimum, and I think he did every day. So we had a lot of stuff drop over social. And what's cool is like, now that we're home and there's nothing else going on in our lives, we can drop all that stuff this week. So
Yeah,
he's doing a great job.
Yeah, it was awesome being able to just dump those for him to do. Although it takes a long time to get those to upload.
Oh man. Yeah, it's very difficult. What I find is that if I record 4 or 5 passes and there's like 2 cars that I'm not going to record, I just start loading in. That way there's not too many, because then I can get like 4 or 5 videos in at a time, and he hates it, but that's the only way I can do it. So he'll wait.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "You got anything else?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude, got a bunch, but just
Yeah.
trying to get these in here."
I was dropping like 50 something per night, and that was
Oh
rough.
man. Yeah, that's too tough. Big shout out to D-Torx again. Thank you guys so much for being so supportive of what we do here at Drag Drive Repeat, and of course at the circuit. And the Feed the Racers program that they sponsored for this year is really fun, because we're going to take our street and strip series, and that's what that sponsorship program is for. And we're going to feed folks. I brought Waffle House breakfast on for Mother Road Mayhem. I don't know what we're going to do for the 2-lane throwdown here in 45 days, but we're going to do some kind of lunch thing. I don't know if we're going to buy buckets of chicken at KFC or what, but we're going to do something somewhere along the 100-ish mile drive. I think we're probably going to kind of be my goal. So big shout out to D-Torx. Thanks again to them. And I hate it that Mark Campbell didn't make the weekend, because man, can you imagine the 5 cars duking it out that can run 850 something, and most of the time? It'd have been awesome to see.
It was great hanging out with them and chatting with them all weekend, though. So probably wouldn't have been able to do that if he was busy racing.
No, that's for sure. But I wouldn't trade that for anything. But definitely wanted to see him run.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into some Performer built transmission stuff.
All right. Performer Built is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performer Built Transmissions, their goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performa built.
For sure. And in this class, we're going to talk about the 650 Index, sponsored by Flairside Performance. I, again, didn't mean to show you guys that photo. 13 cars in this class, 5 cars with a 6.5 something average. This is a 650 Index that 5 cars of 13 had a 6.5 something average. The class was won by 0.001 on the average.
This is
These
this
two
is
dudes-
exactly what we want to see out of these index classes, though. Like we
Yeah.
want them to be tough and competitive, and want people to come back and try to take that top spot.
Yeah, these dudes duked it out the entire weekend, man. It was awesome. Winner of this class, repeat winner, Mr. Scott Barker, won it last year, won it this year, 6.5215 average for him. Best pass of the class, 6.503. Ends up other passes were 6.534, 6.540, and 6.509. Third quickest pass of the class on that last one.
That's wild. Runner up was Jeff Mass in the Valiant, 6.5225 average with passes of 6.522, 6.524, 6518 and 6526. And if you look at those, that's a spread of 0.008 between those four passes.
Yeah. Yeah. Without the 6509, Scott wouldn't have won it. If it had been a 651 anything, I don't think he wouldn't have won it.
Yeah.
So pretty incredible to do that. Third place in that class, Miss Abby Larson in the Trailblazer, 6.625, 6.514, 6.566, and 6.545. Dude, that's crazy, man.
Mhm.
She is a killer in that 650 class.
And I've got some great photos coming of her and her husband side by side
Oh
making
man,
passes. So there's going to be some cool photos coming of those two.
bring it on.
And then just some extra here. Shout out to Galen Knowlton, 6.503, second quickest of the event in that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he put it down, man. They were duking it out over there, and then his daughter Portia Desmond rode with him, and her son. Son was co-pilot. Portia was extra co-pilot. She actually runs part of the team of Wild West Dragon Drive, Wild West Dragon Dash. Sorry, Wild West Dragon Dash. We know the story behind that. And they came up, rode with Galen, had a good time. At the end, we talked just about every day, and she was like, "This is so much fun. It's fun doing other people's events." So that's why we got to get the old truck right, so I can take it down to do their event.
yeah, for sure.
All right, and then moving on, Junior Street, first time for us to do that class. Bolding Auto Body and Bastrop Chiropractic sponsored that class. Big shout out to them for putting all that together. Eli Kestner, quickest in his mom Kristen's expedition with a 958 average. Big shout out to them. He was going to race her Dodge truck, but they couldn't get the window to go back up. Something happened. They rolled the window down and it would not go back up. So I think they ended up finally getting it before they had to leave. But that expedition moved out, dude.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yep. And then my daughter in Stanley in the old truck, we call it 1131 average. So you guys know we're way off on time on that thing. That thing should be way faster than that. But again, having issues. 11.311 average for her. And then Brantley James, who is Steven's oldest stepdaughter, 11.324 average. So Uncle Steven put in some work this weekend. Uncle Steven and Daddy Steven put in some work this weekend. They each had to make, oh man, at least 2 passes a day minimum, throughout the weekend. I think on Sunday, and if he's still watching, he can tell us, but I think on Sunday they made like 3 or 4 passes each, and the truck just kept getting slower and slower throughout the day.
Yeah, you could hear it. It just as soon as it would get into boost, it would just cut up.
Yep. And I
So
just had a realization. I told Casey Matthews 9:30, didn't I?
I'm not sure.
I bet I did.
But
Lead us for a minute. Yeah.
speaking of your daughters, did how was the driving the cart in the evenings? Because boy, it got chilly some of those evenings.
Man, the girls that rode in the back seat did not ride in the back seat once the sun went down.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were not in on it. So
yeah. It's I bet that was pretty chilly there for sure.
yeah. Sorry.
All right. Do you want me to
Yeah.
go ahead and jump into the AFCO racing segment here? In this
Yep.
segment, we're gonna talk about the cheap car challenge, and be 1 second here because I just closed out all of my notes.
Dustin Cottle here saying, when are we going to have an old truck work day? Man, really, I thought we were pretty close to having it ready, and sadly, it just did not, was not ready. So to get there. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Casey says he's going to be able to jump on it just a second. Cottle Racing, man, they had a great time in Overdrive, which is another class we're going to talk about next week because there's just so much story that is in that class. I just couldn't fit it in tonight and get it all done the way I would want to. So, yeah, but we definitely need one. I don't know if I'm gonna have to rewire that truck or what, but I'm tired of fighting it. So,
For sure. All right. Got the notes back here. So racers know when you want performance that wins, you want AFCO. From shocks and suspension to cooling, brakes, and more, AFCO Racing has been helping teams go faster for over 30 years. Built by racers for racers. Check out the AFCO Advantage and follow them today on social media for the latest in performance and parts. AFCO Racing, built to win.
Sweet. Well, let's kick that off and bring in Mr. Casey Matthews, who I completely screwed up the time. I'm so used to people being Eastern time, and you're almost Eastern time.
Yeah, almost. How's it going, guys?
Dude, it's awesome, man. I want to say first off, if for the folks that didn't know, Casey kind of ran the Cheap Car Challenge program, and I told him early on, man, if you want this, you're gonna have to do it, because how hard was it to put this together and keep up with?
Putting it together, very simple. Keeping up with it, very difficult. I underestimated how hard it is to race, be competitive, and keep track of 8 guys. I just didn't have any time, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
I think I've got some game plans for next year. I want to do it again, but I think on day one, I'm going to get all guys together, give them all a pen and piece of paper, park all the cars next to each other, and have them go nitpick each other and call each other out on everything, because I don't have the time to do it. I'm trying to race, and on day one, it got me because I was trying to look at all their cars, and there was 2 guys I didn't even know were in that showed up later. And they're like, "Oh, I'm in." And I'm like, I didn't even have to look at their cars until day 3.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna make that note now.
I mean, racers had to come up to me later on. They're like, "Hey, did you know X certain person had this part on their car?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't." And then you get to looking at it, you're like, "Oh, well, maybe that wasn't included." I mean, 99% of the stuff was included, but there's a few things that I had to call out later on day 2 or 3 and be like, "Hey, you got to claim this." So,
Yeah.
But if I could have them police themselves, I think that takes a lot of the time off of me. And maybe I'll have to designate a buddy to talk to them, because I was just had my wife and son with me this year, so
Yeah.
didn't have that extra help to police them as well.
Right.
And then trying to get out of there and get to the race party sometime.
Right. Maybe we need to yeah, man, that's tough, because you almost do need somebody else helping.
Yeah, for sure. But maybe I'll enter this in the Cheap Car Challenge next year.
I like it. I like where you're going with that.
I was just watching your live stream, and I didn't even realize that the kids could race. And my son's his birthday's February 5th, and he's 12, so he'll be 13 next year. And I was like, man, I need to put together a cheap car for him and let him do the cheap car race and something slow, and I can ride along.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Ranger 50 TTer says build books, just like the Grassroots Motorsports Challenge would be a good one.
That's not a bad idea. I was trying to get them all to put their builds up on the Circuit Racers page, so that way we could all keep track and call them out. But I don't think really anybody did that. They posted the original pictures of their car, and that was about it.
Well, you know, when you're sneaky, you can't put it all out there like that.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the guys, like Red Hat Scotty was telling me about the spray paint he bought for his headliner, you know, so he had everything. And then, you know, there was other guys that didn't do all that, but it was pretty good. And we had a pretty good turnout. 8 cars was about double what I thought would actually turn up.
Oh yeah, dude. I was impressed. And to have a guy like Jason King or Red Hat Scotty in that, I mean, dude, Jason has a 7-second Mustang. Like,
oh, he does?
Yeah, he could have had way more fun with that thing, but I think he had an absolute blast with the blue budget SN95.
Yeah, that he actually did exactly what I wanted to do. He found an SN95 because those cars are just so cheap. I found one for $600 here and wanted to get it, but just had too much going on. And he ended up winning it because he didn't have anything in the car, and that, you know, that allowance for time and money, it worked out for him.
Right. Well, let's talk about that a little bit because he was not the quickest car of it, but one because of some points and he was under, so that saved him some ET and all that kind of stuff. So tell me what's going on.
Yeah, he had, I believe, off the top of my head, 1,150 in it. So he got like a 1.85. He got to take that off of his time, so he ended with like somewhere around a 12.0, I believe, average. And then I'm not sure he's in second place. I don't have my notes on me, but the Corvette was pretty fast. But he had like $4,000 in it, so he actually had a 1 second penalty at the end of the day.
Wow.
But he had the quickest pass. I think he went like a 12.88, but yeah, he did have $4,000 in it. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
I didn't even realize it until the end of the day on day 3 that they LS swapped that thing.
And was it $4,000? Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, he bought the car. The story on the car was his grandpa bought it for the transmission for like $600 or $700 and told his grandson, "Hey, if you go get it, because it was like 4 or 5 hours away, you can just have the car because I don't want it." And so I made him claim I think like $800 on the car because it was just a clapped out shell of a Corvette, and then he had all the other parts in doing the LS swap. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I think Timmy Meehan was a big part of that program over there. And if anybody can make a car go fast for cheap, it's Timmy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm so bad with names that I didn't catch any of them.
Yeah.
And I kept missing those guys. I didn't catch up to them until day 3.
Yeah, I think we probably need to we could put them right by like a road trip group or something. We need to really do some fun stuff for that class when we do it next year. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I've got some ideas. I'm hoping that maybe if a few of these cars will just stick around until next year, and then we can get 3 or 4 more in there, it'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Well, one of the biggest things I always talk about is claimer rule. That was one of my biggest. Hey, I think we need this. What do you? And now I'm struggling with it because the Capri that was in there, that guy would never sell that.
Oh,
so he's not going to enter the cheap car challenge.
Yeah, he had that car since 1990. Forever. So like, it's one of the things you'd almost have to have the 2 classes because it's not really a $3,000 value. This year, it was more like you got $3,000 into it. And like, if I build a car for my son to race, I'm not going to sell it either, even if I've got $1,200 in it, just because, it's going to be his car. So I don't know if we get enough interest in it, maybe we do a claimer class. I was talking about it with a bunch of people. Like, I think if we did a claimer class with just a lot of stock Ford.
Yeah. I think he's froze up, right? Not me.
Yeah.
I hope.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying that I think if you do the claimer class, I don't think the cars will be as cool, but they might be.
No, I agree.
I agree. And then also,
we definitely we want people to do it. Like, that's the whole purpose of it. So you guys are right without the claimer, but dadgummit, how do you keep people from cheating?
That's kind of why. Yeah, the calling out on the, on day 1 with everybody nitpicking each other's stuff, it might make it more even. Yeah. It was honestly very, very close. Other than the King guy, Jason King, I believe. He was running the same times as everybody. He just had less money in the car, which that was my original thought on it. Whenever I was like, I want to do it, I was like, I'm going to find the cheapest car that I could possibly find that I could strip out and weigh nothing and run like a 1390 and win the thing. That was kind of my thought behind it.
Yeah, and he did great because his times. Hold on. Like 1399, 1407, 1385, and a 1382. But like, everybody was in that range. Like
right.
Dylan Barker was in that with the 300. 1402, 1403, 1404, 14005. Let's see, Jeremy Clark, 4th quickest here. 1435, 1376, 1395. These. Let's see, what's Red Hat Scotty running here? Yeah, 13.9, 13.901, 13.655. Holy shit, Scotty, that's awesome, man! Laying it down.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I was like. I knew like a 1390 car can win this thing with the with the time deduction. So
wow. Yeah, pretty fun. Well, let's talk about fan favorite car and how much you loved Brian Mackey's car.
yeah, the Mackeys, I guess, is that husband and wife? I'm not sure. Same last name. I didn't get to talk to him that
Yep.
much. Okay, husband and wife. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into it. I was really happy with those guys. He's got a little bit different taste than I do, but he wanted to make an odd, weird car, and I was like, "Have at it, buddy." I wouldn't do it, but everyone else seemed to like it. The kids loved it. He won the kids' vote for sure.
That's awesome. So how did you pick that? How did that go?
I just went around the pits and found all the little kids and showed them all the cars because I was out of time, and I'm like, I liked it. I mean, he put the most effort into what it looked like, I guess. Everybody else just, I don't think they even touched the exterior of their cars and everything. And so I went around and asked a bunch of kids, and they chose that one. So I figured he put a lot of effort in. He got real innovative with his nitro switch on the window and everything. He did it the way I thought it should be done.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, quickest of the class. No.
Oh, really?
No, yeah, Wyatt Wood with the Corvette was quickest with the 1287.
Yeah, he went the quickest, but he
yeah.
had an asterisk because he had $4,000 in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Brian was watching earlier.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to see if he could tell how much he had in it.
The 2450, I believe, is what he had in that torque. He said he paid $1,200 for it and then put $1,200 in it, I believe. Just going off the top of my head. But yeah, the Corvette I think will be around for a while. It looked like it was pretty well built, so hopefully, kind of also the goal with this is to get people into the drag and drive stuff that don't have money to build a full out race car and have something they can compete in, which I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. So we need to look at more bigger award or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we can find another sponsor to go along with Uncle Sony Motorworks, US
Right.
Motorworks. Love that guy was in there. Most consistent. Who won that one?
The 300.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Dylan Barker with a .043 spread. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the award he was going for or not, but nobody else was even close. Everybody else was trying to go faster every day. He was like, I'm just going to try to run the same number every day.
Yeah. Well, hey, it got him a trophy. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, next year I need to get on the internet and find like a 6-foot tall trophy I can hand out for the winner or something.
Yes. Yeah, let's get really dumb with this cheap car challenge. I think that is going to be a class that's going to continue to grow in popularity across the sport. I think people are looking for dumb reasons to buy dumb cars, and then you go on didn't you become Nico Christofri, who has taken that car, and it was a $1,200 challenge put on by Red Hat Scotty a few years ago. Now he's got 15 or 20,000 in it.
Oh wow! Yeah, I remember I was going to do that challenge, and I had a S10 that I got, and I bought a wreck, the Zuzu and everything. And then one of my bucket list cars popped up, so I had to sell it all to raise the funds to buy this Bel Air that's right here. So
nice.
It's almost done. It'll hopefully be somebody will be driving it next year.
That's awesome. Well, dude, what do you think people did right in this class, and then what did they do wrong?
I mean, everybody did a lot of stuff right. I mean, everybody had a different approach to it. I mean, the people that had the full $3,000 in their car, and then ran 1390s, maybe, you could have done it a little different. You could have bought a cheaper car, but I mean, if you like the car at the end of the day, at least they got a car now that they can race. I mean, yeah, I think everybody did a pretty good job.
What'd they do wrong, or maybe not right? Not that they did it wrong, but not something that were there any rules skirting there?
Oh, I mean, somebody thought their engine was free. That was fun. And then, wheels and tires and stuff. Well, tires were included, but then you got to include those wheels. That was really about the only wrong thing that anybody did. And it was, I don't know. I don't know if it was that wrong, but because it's not like it made the car or the engine definitely faster, but the wheels and tires, I don't know. I'm like, hey, you probably should have thrown a set of friggin' Steely's on this thing and nobody would have said anything.
Yep.
But yeah, like the guy with the Taurus, he bought some junkyard wheels and he claimed them, and I didn't even know that he bought wheels. They look like stock Taurus wheels to me, but so he did it right.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Let's run through these photos. So this is Jason King's blue budget Mustang, winner of the class. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that car was really nice on the outside, but it was completely rotted underneath.
Yeah, I remember seeing the photos where like they had parked it and shook it or something. It was like the outline of the car.
Yeah, don't lay under your belly and look at it.
Yeah. The car on the left, Brian Mackey's shit show, SHO, 100 shot to run 13.3. I mean, dude, this car was incredible.
I like those cars. I'm kind of sad he cut it up.
No, I love it, dude. It was he had the nitrous on the horn button, so every time he would pull to the line, oh my gosh, man, it was killing me. And then what did he have to do? What was the deal with the rear window? Oh, he had to power the horn with the rear window switch or something crazy like that.
I don't remember the rear window. Oh yeah, I think the switch was the horn, the rear window, and the nitrous. Or no, yeah, he used the rear window switch, and I guess the amp draw the way he had it, so he ended up having to put the nitrous and the horn on the same button in order to not blow the fuse. That's what he was saying.
That's awesome. And then Wyatt Wood's car there on the right, the C4 Corvette. I hope that car does stick around a little bit. It's kind of a cool car. I think those cars are becoming more and more popular. I think they're cheap enough to where you can kind of do some fun stuff with them. That's obviously works. And then, oh God, what is this guy's name? Farmer? No.
The Capri. I forget his name, but I like that car. Looks awesome. It was
Jeremy
actually super rusty underneath. Also,
yeah, but this is the one that he had since he was like 16 or something like that.
Yeah, 1990 he bought it for $400. He said,
"Wow, how cool!" Yeah, we're not going to do the math on what $400 in 1990 to today's money.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, well, you can include that if we do the conversion, and it's probably $5,000 in 2026 money.
Yep. So Jeremy Clark on that one, super cool story, and the car sounded incredible, man. Mm-hmm. He fired it up in the parking lot when we were in on Saturday night, and then of course the Mark 8. I think that was probably the Fling's favorite car that was out there because they used to land speed race Mark 8. That one's Aaron Burnick, and that car is super slow though, 16s in the quarter mile.
They got Cobra motors in them. I was actually kind of shocked it was as slow as it was.
Yeah, it's naturally aspirated, but all the good stuff on the bottom is there. And then of course the little Audi TT from Jamie Mackey. Let's see, what did she run? She ran 15.4, 15.3, 15.7. I think she only had like $1,400 in that car or something crazy. I think they put some tires on it maybe after.
She said it was like a manual automatic. It was like one of those manumatic cars, and it wouldn't leave for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. And what's cool about the Mackeys doing this is like they're so smart. Like they have fast cars and way cool cars, and they bring these two out from Colorado to Oklahoma to race.
Yeah.
And of course, Dylan Barker's 300. That car makes a lot of sense to me just because it's a C, so it's a V8. They're a Mopar family, so I'm sure that engine and train is going to get pulled and going something else.
Yeah, he put a cam in that thing. I think that's the only thing he spent his money on was a camshaft.
Wow. How cool. And then, of course, Doo Brown from Red Hat Scotty, another car that had been laying in wait to get built, and brings it out and does this with it. So Scotty pushing the envelope all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Dumped $100 worth of fuel on day one.
Did he? What happened there? I seen pictures, but I didn't hear the story.
Yeah, apparently the seal that goes on the like the fuel hat where your pump and stuff goes in, the gasket there had rotted away or something. Couldn't get one in time, and so did the best they could, and it just wouldn't seal up from there. It like expanded. I think when they took the piece off, it expanded. They couldn't get it back down in the hole it was supposed to go in. So. Yeah, great class, dude. I'll tell you, I really enjoyed watching. I appreciate you doing that because there's no way I would have ever done that and without you doing that. So big shout out to you for giving another 8 people a place to race.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's next year, I got to, I learned this year was my first year trying to do it, and I underestimated the amount of work for sure.
Well, and if people had gathered some of the stuff in the circuit racers group, if they had, kind of had a build history on it, that would have helped a lot.
Yeah. And I just wish I would have had more time to nitpick the cars, but I had to kind of take everybody's word for it and then sort it out during the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I think you have them on day 1 or day 0, pick apart each other's car.
I think that's going to be the best spot. And I'm like, hey, look, don't get mad if you get caught. That's kind of my theory on it. Like, it is what it is. The part's either there, it's not there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun to see that kind of come up. So, all right. Well, dude, I appreciate you making the last minute jump onto the show. I had originally told him 9:30 to 10, and without thinking that you were still Central Time. And so I'm sure you're just chilling watching the show, and I realized I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, I got it on over here, and I walked inside to use the bathroom, and then my phone starts buzzing, and you're like, crap, I need you on. I'm like, I was wiring the hot rod out here, and I'm waiting for my call.
Nice. Well, we appreciate it again. And thanks for coming, dude. You and I met, I think it was Drag Week 22, I think, at one of the route stops. And, dude, I love that car of yours. It's so cool.
Yeah, I remember that. You were like, where did this thing come from? Like, yeah.
He was like, I just drove up.
Yeah, I drove that car like 700 miles that day. And it was the first time I ever drove the car.
Oh, wow.
I drove it like maybe 12 miles to the gas station. And then looked at my dad and said, you want to go 700 miles today? And we literally drove 700 miles with nothing. And it did it.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous, but it did it. I put another 15,000 on it since. So
Dylan here saying the 300 is now my daily driver. I bought the cam used from Marketplace and bought a bunch of the supporting parts for the cam from the outlet discount section at Summit Racing in Dallas.
Yeah, that's cool.
Man, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, somebody got a daily out of it.
Right. And dude, what a cool story. I mean, that guy will be able to tell that all the time, won a trophy at his first event in it. And like that car's going to be one of those cars that we're just going to see like for the next 3 or 4 years. And it's going to come back, always have upgrades.
Yeah.
So how does that work next year? Do they start at?
You don't touch it. Well, the 3, maybe I need to have a class for it. Maybe you need to have a second year hoopty class. No. Well, I guess we'll have to see what the popularity is.
Like it goes from $3,000 to $5,000 for the second year people. So like you race the first year at $3,000 and then you get like another $2,000 budget the next year.
Yeah, if we can get enough people in it, I'm down for that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay.
Or the people that didn't use their 3,000, do they get more?
Well, I mean, whatever your value is, maybe you get 5, but you also get to deduct your time, but then. You got King is going to be running bottom 8s by the end of the week, which is average. So, I'm about to rethink. I'm about to think that math. I think my idea for this year, we're getting to the duck time. It worked out pretty good, other than the one outlier that won. Everyone else was like right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone was kind of complaining, like, how do you get that car for $500? I'm like, look, I found one for $600, and it was identical to it, and that's the only reason that I'm like, I found one too. So
it fits.
I found one.
Yeah. Wow. Hell yeah, dude. Well, hey, thank you very much for doing that. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being awesome, man. You're a badass dude. I can't wait to hang out.
Thanks. See ya.
We'll see ya.
All right.
Yeah, Dylan there says, I mean, I could probably get a pro charge for an additional $2,000. How fun would that be, dude? Like, you do the first year, okay, that's your $3,000 budget. Then the next year you have whatever is remaining to $5,000. Like,
yeah.
For like Jason King that has $1,100 or $1,200 in his, dude, now he's got $3,800 to spend.
Right.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, definitely could be fun.
Yeah.
Do we got to do like all the other cheap car challenges? And when you go buy a car, you gotta record your interaction so we know what the price is.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in.
Or I like the idea of
keep it close. As long as you can keep it like a car count that makes sense, dude, you could really have some fun with it.
Yeah, I still like the idea that you buy the car, you prove how much you paid for it, but then you don't get to modify it until you get to day 1 and tech in, and then you can modify it from there throughout the week.
Oh man, that could be fun too. Like you can't do any upgrades, like whatever it has. You got to do a full video the second you get it. and then
Yeah.
from here, everything else is upgrade at the event.
Yeah. I mean,
years in, gotta wait.
right.
Yeah, that'd be a
but
blast.
but the thing is everybody's just going to throw nitrous on them because that's the cheapest and easiest way to upgrade them.
Oh
on
yeah,
the fly.
or you've got it piled up. You know what I mean? You've got it. All your parts are with you. You know, so.
Jason said blue budget is too rusty to go much faster. And somebody said just don't invite the Nelsons.
Oh, you don't want the Nelsons in here. They went like 9s on $2,000 or something like that. So yeah, don't mess with them. We don't even tag them in this thing. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun because I think again you could do something really fun with $5,000.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian Ekstrom here. Big shout out to him. I thanked him earlier in the episode, but just want to definitely put that in his ear right now. Thank you, Brian, for coming all the way from Minnesota. Got to spend dinner with him on Saturday night at Chewy's. It's a good time, man, and great conversations and just it's so interesting to get away from the track and get to spend some time with people. So I appreciate him and all the hard work he put in for us this weekend at the circuit.
Yeah, we did dinner at Waffle House on Sunday night.
Nice.
Was yeah, we had Tom, we had Brian. Who else did we have there?
Jesse Fox.
Jesse Fox was there, and brain fart. The Lowrys, because Kevin
sweet.
Bought everybody's dinner. So big shout out to him for that as well.
That's awesome. Dylan Barker says, "I'm 90% sure I can do a cam swap in the pits day one."
Oh man, we would need like a live streamed camera set up just in the area where all the cheap cars
it's
were.
Just the 10 cars live streamed on day one in the pits. Dude, I'm in. Listen, we're looking for a live stream sponsor for 2027. So if anybody wants to get in on this, let's do it.
Yeah, Robert Voss. The only thing I missed was Waffle House. I had it twice.
I didn't have Waffle House at all.
So my only meals for the week, and I know we're wrapping up here, but racer pre-party Thursday, at Los Cabos.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Waffle House with wife and kid. Saturday, 80 pizzas. Sunday, Waffle House with the race car friends.
Dude, that's awesome.
And everything else from the week was just snacks. Like there was no other meals throughout the week.
Yeah. Shout out to Love's Travel Stops for hooking us up, dude. Golly, man, I wouldn't have made it. I had 2/3 of a bag of pork rinds in about 26 seconds. I was like, give me food at Thunder Valley. So pretty awesome.
Deechworks hooked me up on, I think it was Sunday. I think Sunday was the day I was like, I need food. I need water. I don't feel human. And I went and sat over in their area, and I bet you I ate 4 bags of different just snacks and then like 2 bottles of water. And then I was like, all right, I feel human again. I'm going to go wander back out.
That's awesome. Fast Ranger Motorsports is making charge pipe on the Ranger now. Just need some blow off valves. Heck yeah, man. That's exciting to see that thing come around from nitrous to turbos and all that stuff. Camp Counselor Bob Johnson Cipher here, thanking him. Thanks for welding up the shifter linkage on Frankie's truck. Yeah, dude, it was a great event, man. We could talk about it for weeks. I think we'll probably have to finish off the other classes and more stories next Wednesday night as we move into the 150s in this episode. So in this series of shows we're doing here, dude, 150 episodes, man, it's crazy.
Yep. And for those that saw the pictures I posted, I did repost them just before the show. Watermark was the same watermark I've used on every other picture. But for some reason, the night photos, it just really popped out. So tweaked that a little more, reposted those. So that'll be how the rest of them go. And again, 4,100 photos. Give me a little bit of time. I'll work through them. But as I was scanning through them tonight to grab some for the show, there is some great photos in there. So I'm excited to get to editing those.
Yep. And then other folks we're watching for, Jesse Fox has also shared some photos with us. Obviously he's our official photographer of the event. He's going to be dropping some on his page, but then also he shared those, so we're going to be dropping those on our page. So Eric and I'll be working on how to get that through, so we don't overload everybody and everybody sees all the stuff. And then Richard Brewer going to be posting a bunch of stuff over on Dirty Panda. Again, that's DIRTE as in Edward Panda. You can find it over there. He's going to be sharing some with us as well. So it's good, dude. We're fixing to take over the internet this week.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Yeah. And then April Barker, what she's saying here, we want to thank all the track crews. They worked really hard and did an awesome job. That is the truth. The folks at Thunder Valley really were given a hot pile about 9 days before we came in there with 220 cars. And so that we were their first really big event to host, and they did an incredible job. Nicole and Josh, great team of people over there. Can't thank them enough for what they did for us, and kick ass, take names.
Yep. All
right.
right. Well, what do you think? That about it?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, once again, appreciate all of our race car friends that were in here tonight. Again, tons of comments. Love talking about everything from the circuit tonight. It was a ton of fun. Again, appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, our sponsors. Again, if you need discount codes, we've got those. We've got affiliate links. We've got contacts at each company. So if you need something, reach out to us. But thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yep. See you guys.